Tamers, let's talk about episode 27 and 28 of Digimon Ghost Game. So, in episode 27, we get to see an opponent that is very hard to beat, but how they defeat him is kinda lame. Okay, so now people got turned into liquid. The first victim in this episode is just a young woman in a certain apartment. The vibe is kinda scary when Splashmon does attack the victim, so I guess that's nice. Point for that. In this episode, Hero finds kind of a conspiracy website about horror stuff that happens all over the city. I guess this will be like an information source for future conflicts in the show, so I think it is nice to build this kind of detail because they do use it in the next episode as well, so I guess it's pretty cool. Point for that. Okay, the one thing I'm gonna say about this episode is how they make Splashmon seem so unbeatable. Like half the episode, I mean, for most of the series, the whole cast are very brave in facing these seemingly horror scenarios, or at least some of them are, when the others are scared. But in this one, they really are terrified, like all of them. I mean, just hearing a droplet of water, like anywhere, like Ruri, Kyoshiro, or Hiro are like flinching, which I think is kinda cool. Just to further prove that this series is a legit horror anime with Digimon in it, so point for that. As for Splashmon himself, I don't know if he just wants to make people into droplets, or is he can be more pure. I mean, they could just simplify it by making him wants to materialize physically or something. I just think that his motivation is a little convoluted and I don't know, a bit corny, so -1 for that, I suppose. However, I do like this, especially when he sucked out the entire water supply in the aquarium. Man, this is gonna be quite scary if you really are in the situation. And well, poor sea creatures, point for that. I also kinda like how much stronger Splashmon is in this episode. Like, he turned most of them to water, like Boramon, Jellymon, and Ruri, I suppose, but I don't remember. Maybe Ruri and Kyoshiro are still there, I don't really remember, but definitely only Hiro and Gamamon that can actually fight. So point for that. But I thought Jellymon is supposed to be made of water or liquid, so theoretically she would not have been able to be liquefied, so I think this is a little inconsistent, and it is like the show just want to show more of Canoweissmon. So I guess this is the first negative for Canoweissmon. Alright. Oh, so the way they beat Splashmon is kinda lame. I mean, just free stuff, so it'll block him from moving through faucets. Come on, ice are still water. Why can't he just turn them into water again? Well, he can straight up turn like human into liquid. Why can't he just turn ice into liquid and be done with it? But alright, I'm rambling. So after Splashmon is frozen, the one that take him back to the digital world is kinda cool. Like Gatomon Yufer is back again, but this time she is on a sled pulled by Mousmon. I don't think Mousmon appeared in many other Digimon stuff. I only remember him ever appearing in like the Digimon Savers game from PS2. He appeared in more stuff, but maybe he appeared in more stuff, but I surely cannot remember. Plus, Mousmon actually talks, so point for that, instead of just being a straight up ride. Moving along to episode 28, it is kinda nice that we get Hero's friend from the first episode back again, even though he only becomes the victim again. Okay, so we get a face stealer this time. I think face stealer is a very common trope in horror stories. I kinda remember such a trope used in Avatar The Last Airbender, so I guess this is a nice enough concept to put in the episode, especially with the Digimon that they choose to do it, which is Asuramon, so point for that. I don't think there are that many things to talk about in this episode because I don't think the villain's goal can get anywhere compared to something like the Mayorismon episode, let's say. But they finally bring back Hero's characteristic from episode 1, which is being unable to say no and helping people. Now, this could just be a throwaway line, but they actually use this characteristic to beat Ashuramon at the end, which is actually kinda cool. Point for that. Alright, long story short, Kyoshiro and Ruri are also get their faces stolen, so it puts them in danger since their life force are constantly being drained. So it is up to Hero and Gamamon again to beat Ashuramon. So once again, Canoweissmon is back, but this is where it gets interesting. After battling for a while, Hero's Digivice evolution bar turns red and Canoweissmon just turned back into his champion form. This is something I've never seen before. I mean, I've seen Mega or Ultimate suddenly turn back into an training or fresh form when they are tired, but just turn back one stage. Unless the Digimon is in champion level, I don't think that ever happened. So, what is this phenomenon? Evolution exhaustion? Too much evolution? I sure hope they explore this concept more because I think this could be a new mechanic for the whole Digimon franchise. I think that's all I can say about these two episodes. Not very interesting, I think, but Canoweissmon turned back into champion form might be very cool if they explore it further. Next episode, I think we will finally see Kodokugumon, I think, which has never appeared anywhere before, so I'm looking forward to that. So Tamers, see you next time.